Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's see if we can summarize here. All of you agree that a long-term CR is bad for the military.
Sir.
Yes.
So when I hear my House colleagues wishing for a long-term CR, you don't wish for that?
No.
No.
Okay. To my House colleagues, the OCO account, you all have a problem with what they're doing? Taking OCO money to fund the military?
Sir, I'll tell you that our preference is a stable, long-term budget that we can plan
Do
on.
you think OCO funding is not stable?
It's one-year funding, so it doesn't give us the long-term
Do
stability.
you agree? Does everybody agree with that? Yes. You'd prefer not to go that route?
Yes.
So why do they do this? They don't want to bust the caps. They don't want to take on the right and tell them y'all are crazy. You know, this sequestration's not working. Have y'all talked to the president about this? Have you told the president what you're telling us about the state of the military under sequestration? Have you had a conversation with the commander-in-chief telling him what you just told us, General Miley?
I have not personally had a conversation with the president on
What
this
about the
particular
Navy?
issue.
No, sir, not personally.
What about the
this
Marines?
topic.
No, sir, not personally.
What about the Air Force?
No, sir.
What are you doing at the White House, Mr. President? You're threatening to veto a bill that would increase defense spending because it doesn't have non-defense increases. I'll make some suggestions to you. Go tell the president what you're telling us. I absolutely see the flaws in what the House is doing. I can't believe the commander-in-chief is sitting on the sidelines and watch this happen, taking a laissez-faire attitude that if you send me a bill that increases defense spending without increasing non-defense spending, I will veto it. I find that as repugnant as what the House is doing. Okay. By the end of 2021, we'll be spending what percent of GDP on defense if sequestration is fully implemented? Does anybody know? 2.3%. Check the math. Senator King made a very good point. Do you see by the end of 2021, given the threats that we face as a nation, it's wise to cut defense spending in half in terms of historical numbers?
No, sir.
Do you, General?
No, sir, I do not.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Well, somebody should ask, how could your Congress and your president allow that to happen? I ask that all the time. I don't have a really good answer. If sequestration goes back to effect in 2017, are we putting people's lives at risk because of the effects of sequestration in terms of training?
Yes, sir.
Potentially, yes, sir.
Well, does anybody else listen to these hearings but us? How do you live with yourself? And I say that I include me. I'm part of this body. I'm voted against sequestration, but that's no excuse. If you want to do revenue to fix it, I'll do revenue. But what I'm not going to do is keep playing this silly game. When you rank threats to our military from nation states and terrorists, would you say sequestration is a threat to our military?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Would you agree with me, General, that the Congress is going to shoot down more planes than any enemy that we can think of in the near term?
Potentially.
Do you agree with me that we're going to park more Marines and take them out of the fight than any enemy we can think of in the near term here, General? Sequestration.
Sir, nobody's going to park us. We're going to go fight, but we will be at risk.
Okay, so what's your budget in terms of personnel cost?
We pay about 61% of the green TOA for personnel.
So let's just walk through that real quickly. 60% of your budget's personnel.
Yes, sir.
If sequestration goes into effect, are you going to lose Marines?
Yes, sir, we will.
Okay, so they'll be out of the fight. How many ships will the Navy have if sequestration's fully implemented, Admiral?
Sir, hard to say, but fewer than the 380.
They say 278. Is that about right?
That's in the ballpark.
So the Congress is going to sink how many ships?
So might take you on the word sink, but it'll be
Okay, well, whatever. They're
30,
not going to be there.
30.
So how many brigades are we going to wipe out, General, in the Army?
Our estimation is we'll lose another between 60 and 100,000 troops if sequestration comes out. And
Would you
probably
agree with
10
me when
brigades.
you rank the threats to the military, you'd have to put Congress and the President in that mix if we don't fix sequestration?
I won't judge either Congress.
I withdraw the
You're
question.
not required,
I will not judge
not
Congress.
required to answer that question.
Right, I'm not judging the president or Congress. I will abstain.
Senator Blumenthal.